Okay, y'all, so this one is going to get a little deep. So I keep bringing it up. I keep telling y'all that, recently I called off my engagement. The video, for some reason, is still uploading, but when it comes up, then, whatever. So today I wanted to talk about getting back to yourself after a breakup, suggestions, what I've personally been doing, because this relationship this relationship for me has been the hardest one to walk away from. And I still have my moments where I'll sit and, let's say, us and the kids are having a good time, and I'll be like, damn, did I make the right decision? And I don't ruminate on the past or what has happened, but I do have to remind myself, no, there's a reason why, you said this is not going to work for me. So I'm not going to get into what transpired or what caused me to get there, because that's in the other video, but I am going to talk to you about what I've been doing in order to take care of me during this time. Because I feel like a lot of the time when you've been with someone, your identity is attached to them in a way, right? Even if you have just been your own person, because I am who I am, right? But, I've been with this person for almost 8 years. Nobody knows me. There's a lot of people that have met me within those 8 years that don't know me without this person. You know what I mean? My children don't know me without their father. My oldest son was 3 when we got together. He's about to be 12. So, it's a lot that comes with this. This is not like one of those, 6 months to a year relationships where it's just kind of like, okay, well, we didn't, that hurts too. But in this case, your entire life is intertwined, and it takes time to separate those things, So for me, what I dealt with was, because I was the one that chose to leave, but we do still live in the same house, I had to grieve someone that was still alive. And that experience was new for me in a relationship, because most of the time, if I walk away from a relationship and I'm done, I'm done. I will leave. You ain't gotta worry about it. I'm up out of here. But now, it's not just me and my one child, it's me and 4 children. Everyone's lives is affected. His life is affected. His family's lives, my family's lives, our friends, it's different. But whether you saw the breakup coming, whether it blindsided you, getting yourself back is not an easy task. It's not. And I am here to tell you, though, that it definitely is possible. And it's the start of a powerful transformation. Like, you guys, I have learned so much about myself. So much. It's like I wake up some mornings and I be like, ooh, girl, who are you? When did we become this? I'm at the part now. It's been about 2 months now, 2.5 months now. I'm at the part now where it's starting to get fun, because I'm rediscovering new things. And I talked about in another video, you get to a point where you're like, who am I? What do I even like? So we're going to go through some practical steps for getting yourself back. So let's start with the first thing. And this is what I just talked about, was letting yourself grieve. This is an end of something. This is an ending of something. This is a death of something. You have every right to be sad. I think sometimes we walk around and we don't want to feel our feelings. So we're like, I'm okay. No, you're not. And it's okay. You're not okay. And it's okay to not be okay. What I forced myself to do was, no matter how hard it was, no matter how depressed I was on certain days, I forced myself to sit in it and feel those feelings. I didn't want my babies to see me sad. I didn't want my babies to see me cry. I didn't want them worried about me. But if I needed to go step in the bathroom, take a minute, say a prayer, cry, get it out, I did that. If I needed to get me together or talk to my best friend and be like, hey, I'm not okay today, I would do that. When it came to work, if my clients would ask, I didn't tell them what was going on, but I would just be like, you know what, like, I'm so happy to see you, but I'm trying to just shake. I'm in a funk right now. I'm trying to shake it, but just please don't take it personal. It has nothing to do with you. You know, I was very vocal. I've been the most vocal that I've ever been since this situation. And that's one thing that I'm grateful for, is I wasn't always the person that would speak up for myself. I wasn't always the person that would out loud say, hey, I'm not all right. Because I was kind of taught to be, you know, superwoman, like most of us are. So I would definitely say that grieve, cry, ugly cry, scream, everything. I went through all the emotions. I hated that man. I was mad at myself. I felt sorry for myself. I felt sorry for him. I felt sorry for my kids. Everything. I went through all of the emotions. And all while I have to look at this man every day because we live together. So when I tell y'all, I feel you. You're not alone. You're not by yourself. I feel like allowing yourself to grieve is something that a lot of people overlook or try to avoid, because breakups do hurt. And they hurt a lot. And we often try to rush the process. And so that's why I told, like, for myself, I have vowed to myself to be intentional with my healing this time around. Because I also feel like, I talked about this in other videos, that I looked at past relationships, and I told myself, or I had to acknowledge that I've been in the same relationship with different faces. Okay, so at some point it's not them, it's me, right? And so I needed to really, really sit down and allow myself to feel my feelings and really get down to the nitty-gritty with myself, because I don't want to have to do this again. But if I rush the process, if I dismiss my own feelings, I'm going to end up back in the same relationship, if not worse. And I have daughters. I don't want my daughters seeing me and thinking this shit is cute. I got sons. I don't want my sons seeing this and thinking that, oh, so my mom put up with it. Because how many of us have been in relationships with people that, oh, well, my mom put up with it, so they expect you to? No, because your mama shouldn't have been one of God's strongest soldiers in that situation, right? So grief is a part of the healing process. And it's not just about crying, but it's about acknowledging what you've lost or what you feel like you've lost, and giving yourself permission to feel those emotions. One of the biggest things for me that I dealt with was the feeling of, I've invested all of this time. I know that I want to have a partner in the future, but I definitely want it to be healthy. But I'm not attached to that right now. I'm working on myself. One of the biggest things that I dealt with too was being attached to not only the outcome, but what this looks like. So I went through the emotions of like, what if my exes use this as a, oh no, it's her. Oh, she thought she was leaving me, she was doing something, but look, this didn't work out either. I dealt with the feeling of like, you know, all the people that don't like me that was probably rooting for this not to work, now I feel like, oh, they've won. Like my African friends, they have that, Nigerians have this saying, like, my enemies have succeeded. That's kind of low-key how I was feeling, right? But then I had to tell myself, like, this is my life and who gives a shit? How do I feel? What's going on with me? And why would I sacrifice myself to prove something to other people? For what? No. And honestly, child, we don't know what the hell other people got going on behind the scenes. So while folks is laughing at you or making you feel away, child, they shit is probably 10 times worse. Let's keep it a buck. So take a moment and recognize that it is okay to not be okay, and that you do not have to be strong all the time. That's not your job. In fact, allow yourself to feel everything. Anger, sadness, confusion, and it will actually help you process the pain faster than pretending that it doesn't exist. And I can attest to that because, like I said, this is what I'm going through right now. So this one is a little more difficult for me because, like I said, we do still live together, but I'll get into how I've been setting boundaries and we've been navigating that. But if you're not in a situation like myself, the next step would be to cut contact. Just go no contact. I know this one sounds hard and it probably sounds a little harsh, but trust me, right now, space is crucial. You need to unfollow them on social media. mute or block their texts. I honestly, like for me, every other relationship that I've left, I've just completely blocked the individual. Like, it's a little different in this sense because, you know, like we have kids together, but that's where that goes into setting boundaries. So, I am not going to talk to you about anything concerning a relationship because we're not in a relationship. And I know for him the first few weeks were hard, but now he understands that that's a boundary for me. I'm gonna act like I don't hear you, right? We can talk about the kids. We can talk about anything else under the sun. I literally just treat him like a friend now, but a relationship will never be. And it was really hard, you guys, for me to even tell him that and to hold tight to that boundary because y'all know what happens. Like, you'll break up with somebody and they're trying to like plead their case, and then you're like, damn, maybe I didn't make the right decision, or damn, maybe I was being a little harsh. And that's where, like I said, you don't have to like relive it in the sense of trying to hurt yourself, but just remind yourself like, no, because we've done this before, we've done this dance, and every time I say okay or I acquiesce, it gets worse. You got to be honest with yourself, you know what I mean? And so one of the things that I've done recently for myself is I have restricted him from my social media. So like, and right now, and I did this not just for him, but just for my mental, but I deactivated my personal Instagram. I don't have it right now. But I would catch, especially when like, let's say we had a disagreement like a day or two before, I would catch him in my views. And this is a person, he doesn't even follow me on social media, y'all. He hasn't followed me on social media the entire relationship. He doesn't follow me. He doesn't promote my business. He doesn't do any of that. So what are you on my social media for? And any pictures that I post of our children, I will send him. So I don't need you micromanaging me. I don't need to feel like if I do or say this, he's going to feel away. That's not my problem.
Yeah, it's a kick.
We are here to co-parent. And we both did have a conversation where I told him, like, you know, if at any point this is too much for you, you are more than welcome to do what you need to do to take care of you. So that's how you set the boundary if y'all are still living together. Now, if you feel like you're in danger, baby, get the fuck out of there. Don't even try. When it comes to social media, especially, like, I get it. It's tempting to check their profile every now and then or just text them and see how they're doing. For me, I have PTSD from previous relationships. So checking men's profiles is just not a thing that I do because even if it's nothing, it's going to look like something. And what the hell would you trigger yourself for? That's a waste of your time and energy. But you're not going to be able to move on if you keep living in that space of uncertainty. Why I can't say that word? Uncertainty. There we go. Lord Jesus. My bad, y'all. Creating boundaries, even if they're temporary, gives you the space to focus on yourself without being reminded of the past relationship every few minutes. And I will say that living with someone when you're no longer together, you definitely ruminate a little more often, but I've learned to just kind of calm those things down and slow those things down. And, you know, I tell you guys in every video that my best friend has helped me so much with that. Just navigating those feelings, validating those feelings for me, and offering suggestions and advice to how I can move through and work through those things as well. Now, enough of that. Let's talk about the importance of rediscovering yourself. And this is something that a process that I'm in right now. And it's fun. Like, I'm sure y'all can tell in how I sound right now. Like, this has become fun for me, y'all. Like, one of the things that's personally been helping me is my channel. I love talking to you guys. I love working these things out with y'all. I love telling y'all, hey, y'all, this is what I've been through. This is what I did. Yada, yada. But when you get out of a relationship, specifically a long-term relationship, you are a different person. You don't know this person anymore, right? You're not the same person that you were coming in. When I got into this relationship, I was almost 27. I am now 34. I will be 35 in June. First of all, from a maturity level, I'm not even the same person, right? Since that time, I've had 2 other kids. My children are growing up. They're in different age brackets. I have a teenager and a preteen. I have a high schooler. I have a middle schooler. Things are different, okay? Just all the way around. So one of the things that I've been trying to do is make sure that I always sow into me. Who am I outside of being mom? Who am I outside of being the hairstylist? Who am I outside of being the friend? Who am I to me? And when I tell y'all I have been having fun with this fun with this. And I've been noticing too that this has been helping me heal my inner child. So, baby, if I want to put on, now I ain't gonna dress like I ain't somebody's mama now, but if I want to wear my Lisa Frank backpack, or if I want to wear my Casper backpack, or if I want to go buy a pair of old Melissas that we used to wear in 2003, I'm going to do whatever it is that makes me happy, and I don't give two shits about how anybody else feels about it. As long as what I'm doing is not physically or directly harming you, I'm going to do the fuck I want to do for me. And let me tell you something. 27-year-old me would be gagging right now because that is not who she was. If I want to wear my hair a certain way, that's how I'm going to wear my hair. If I want to do my makeup every single day, that's what I'm going to do. If I am going to splurge on skin, whatever the fuck it is, whatever it is. Because half the time we don't even know we don't like. And part of that too, when you talk about, like I said, I do still desire to have a partner in the future. But I also sit down and I go, When something comes up now, I go, I remember that. I remember what happened there. Okay, so my next partner will not deal with me in such a manner. My next partner will be softer with me. My next partner will seek to understand instead of criticizing. Things like that. Half the time, we don't even know we won't. You don't even realize sometimes you've been in survival mode the whole time. So there's that too. Breakups really do shake your sense of identity. Like I said, I would be sitting there like, who? I don't even know who I am. I don't even know who I am. But like I said, make a game out of it. Make it fun. If you've never been to a pottery class, child, go to a pottery class. If you've never done like the glass breaking, go do it. Just do stuff. Like, date yourself. You don't even know what you don't like. And dating yourself is more fun because you ain't got to be time to be asking nobody what the hell their favorite color is, child. So this is your opportunity to reconnect with the things that make you happy. Like I said, whether that's picking up an old hobby, going on a solo adventure, or simply spending time with your friends. One thing that me and my friends do and have been doing, and that was something that never changed because I've never been one of those people that get in a relationship and then I forget I have friends, is y'all, we love a good brunch. We love to just sit around, eat, drink, have a good time, shoot the shit, and then go back to being mom, after so many hours. I used to feel guilty, especially when I had multiple children, about taking time out for myself. I kind of just felt selfish. I felt like, oh, this is time I could be spending with my kids. But I really had to condition myself to understand that a refreshed mom is a better mom. I'm no good to them if I'm angry all the time. I'm no good to them if I'm cranky all the time. I'm no good to them if I'm not my best self. So I can't, yes, as moms, regardless of how we're feeling, we're going to sow into them. But we're just so much better when we really, truly commit to sowing into ourselves. And like I said, start small. So maybe you always want to take a cooking class, or you may want to learn how to serve. So I have a client that recently got divorced about 2 years ago. And she told me that she sold her luxury car, y'all, and went and bought a boat. And she was telling me that, those of us that grow up in more urban areas, we almost forget that there's a whole world out there. So she was like, girl, I bought a sailboat. She was like, I ain't never sailed in my life. She was like, but me and my babies, we get on the boat. Now she's part of yacht clubs. Now she's in different rooms, in different environments. And she's noticing how differently people treat her in a positive way. But this man would have never, staying with that man, she would have never learned or thought about that. So now is the perfect time to explore your passions and figure out what lights you up from the inside. And sometimes, even though we're not relationship focused right now, right? But sometimes it's in those spaces that you might actually meet your future husband or wife. This is now about reconnecting with who you were before the relationship and reminding yourself that you are whole, even without someone else in your life. Also, this is huge. I preach this to every single person that I come across. Please, 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 you owe it to yourself. Forgive yourself. Give yourself compassion. It's so easy for us to beat ourselves up. I've done it. It's so easy for us to beat ourselves up. Maybe I should have did this. Maybe I shouldn't have did that. I should have never been with him in the first place. Maybe I should have listened to my first mind. You know what? I should have left him at the first sign of blah, 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 blah. Everything happens for a reason. Your journey is yours. Obviously, being with this person was a part of your journey, right? But we are our harshest critics. We have got to be more self-compassionate. We have got to be more forgiving. We have got to be more loving to our damn selves. We will blame ourselves. We will beat ourselves up for the way things ended. Relationships are complicated, okay? It takes two people to make them work or not work. So, instead of focusing on what went wrong, try to shift your mindset to a place of understanding and kindness towards yourself. You did your best with the tools and the knowledge that you had at the time. And that's the God's honest, right? It's okay to be flawed. No one's perfect. It's okay to make mistakes. It's also okay to forgive yourself, even if that means you have to do it every day until it sticks. And that is definitely an exercise muscle. And when I have my moments like that, I always say, I can't be mad at myself for what I didn't know at the time. But now that I know, I can move different, right? So, what about the future? Like I said, it's easy to get lost in the grief and pain of a breakup, but it's also important to remind yourself that there's an entire world waiting for you. And your future is not defined by this one chapter. We don't know how long we have on this planet. But if you had another 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, do you really want this to be the thing that you're worried about? Even if you only have today and you don't wake up tomorrow, do you want this to be the only thing that you're worried about? No. Take this time to reimagine what your next steps look like. So, like we said, that might be leaning into new experiences, meeting new people, or even focusing on career goals that you've been putting off. This is not the end of your story, y'all. We have a whole life left still, right? And who knows, sometimes the end of one chapter is just the beginning of something even better. So, to bring this all back around and wrap it up, healing after a breakup is not about putting on a brave face or pretending that you're fine when you're not. It's about allowing yourself to grieve, set boundaries, rediscover who you are, practice self-compassion, and keep your eyes on the future, because you will get through this. This is just a drop in the bucket. You will get through this, even if it doesn't feel okay or feel like it right now. The great thing about all of this is that one day you're going to look back at this and realize how far you've come, how much stronger you become. My favorite thing is when I look back at certain situations and be like, damn, I remember when I couldn't even see my way out of this. So if you're in the thick of it right now, remember that you're not alone. Everybody heals at their own pace, and that's okay. Just take it one day at a time and know that you're already doing the most important thing that you can do, and that is taking care of yourself. So that is all I have for you guys today. I'm sending you, everybody under the sound of my voice, I'm sending you all so much love. Like I said, I'm telling y'all that I'm going through it now, so you are not alone. And if you found this helpful, I would so appreciate it if you would subscribe, leave me a comment, and even share it if you know somebody going through the same thing. And you're more than welcome to reach out to me if you are going through something yourself. I'm always available to talk. And until next time, take care of yourself, and remember, your best days are ahead. I love you all. Bye.